Alright guys, so in this video we're going to briefly talk about how I purchased my most recent project where I purchased a property, rehabbed it, and found a tenant and placed a tenant in it. Okay, so this process is called buy and hold process. Okay, so how I found the deal. Basically, another investor in the city reached out to me about the deal. I thought it was a little bit too high, so I passed on it. Well, lo and behold, he had this deal out there for about maybe 3 weeks, at roughly about 49,000 is what he wanted for it. So I shot him an email and I said, "Hey, let me take a look at it," because by that time I figured, all right, he's had it out there for three to 4 weeks. He's probably get desperate. Maybe he'll consider something a little bit less. So I went and actually looked at the property. I walked it. I figured anywhere between 4 to 5,000 in rehab, but at 49,000, those numbers just didn't work. But at 40,000, it did. So what I did was I sent him an email and I just said, "Hey, my offer would be 40,000 in cash with a quick close. We could probably close within a week and a half." He got back with me in about 3 hours, and he came back at 43,000. I said no. We went back and forth. We ended up meeting at 41,000. So it still worked. $1,000 difference. It still worked for me. So we closed in about a week later. And in between that time, I had my contractor go over. We walked the property. We wrote up everything. We ended up coming up with about $4,100, $4,100 or $4,200 to get it rent ready and ready to go. So closed on the property, and we got started the very next day after I closed. So some of the repairs I've had a lot worse. It wasn't in terrible shape. We needed to paint the inside and the outside. We had some rotten wood on the outside. We had fence repair. We had landscaping, new flooring, new light fixtures, new door handles. One of the things I like to do is I like to do on a lot of my properties is you'll be amazed at, of course, fresh paint, but you'll be amazed at what new blinds, new light fixtures, and changing the door handles all to match would do for a place. It totally transforms it. So those are just some of the things that we had to do. Change the locks. And rather than that, we were fine. We cleaned out the gutters. The roof was in excellent shape. And this property is actually what you call, some might call it a townhouse, but we call it a zero lot. So it's basically, it looks like a townhouse. It's connected to a neighbor, but it has 2 stories most often, fenced in backyard, and it normally doesn't have a front yard. It has a parking pad for people to park on. So this was the first property that I bought that was a zero lot. They're very popular here in certain areas. So based off that and the numbers with the purchase price and the rehab, I knew that I'd possibly get between 700 and 750 on the rent. So I just targeted at 735, which was be right in between. So it took us 8 days to finish the rehab, which is not bad, the quickest rehab I've ever had. And it took 10 days to actually find a tenant, which is also a record. So very happy on this one. I think that it turned out great. So after when we finish here, we're going to shoot to the numbers. I'm going to have a spreadsheet up so you can actually see the breakdown of the numbers and make it easier for you. And then once we finish that review, it's going to be a short review, guys. Once we finish that review, then you'll see some of the pictures. I'm going to show you some of the before pictures and then the after pictures. And then you tell me what you think. So again, leave a comment, share the video, like the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to take a few minutes here and just quickly look at some numbers here. I figure it'd be easier for you to see the numbers while I speak to them, make it easier for you. So this is a quick spreadsheet, snapshot spreadsheet I use. I quickly just put in numbers. I have it formatted. I put in numbers to give me an idea of what the numbers are going to look like for a property. So the numbers that I input, I put the purchase price here, my estimated repairs, and it gives you a total. Then I'm going to put in my monthly rents, and then you can find your property taxes and your insurance. These 2 numbers here are going to change from property to property. And then these are pretty standard. Have it formatted: property management 10%, vacancy loss, and maintenance you want to take out as well. You can use 7 and 7 here if you want, but I just tend to use 7 and 8%. So on this particular property that we're talking about, guy wanted 49,000 for it. I was able to get him down to, I wanted to pay 40. We agreed on 41. I had $4,100 in rehab. So I was all in for 45.1. The market rent in that area, I was thinking between 700 and 750. So I put it up for 735 and got a tenant relatively quickly, like I said on this one. Actually 10 days it took to get a tenant on this one. So 8 days for rehab, 10 days to find a qualified tenant. So this was an all cash offer. So you see here mortgage payments is 0. So cash flow on it 428. I might have jumped here a little bit, apologize. So you're looking at your monthly and your annual here. So monthly, it shows your property taxes, insurance, $940. Somewhat a little high for the area, but I mean it is what it is. And the insurance is just about right where it needs to be. Actually lower than what I thought it was going to be. So these are all expenditures here. That's why they're in red. So your monthly income is 735 minus your monthly expenses. So this gives you your net operating income. So every month I'm putting 428 in my pocket. Okay, and annually that's $5,173, and you're doing this every year. Now, of course, you might have some expenditures here and there from repairs, but that's where you're kind of compensating for that here. So on this one, now if you borrowed the money or you did seller finance or something like that, you just simply put your payments here if you had a mortgage payment, and then this would change this number here. So so a return on investment of this and or cap rate, since it's cash, 11.4%. It's an okay return. I like to see it. The home runs are 15 and above, sometimes 20 and above, but anything really over 10 is great. Some people like 12 and above, but 11.4, I'll do that deal again if presented with it again. So hopefully you found some value in this quick video. And again, this is a quick spreadsheet I put together. It didn't take long to format it. I use this on every deal that I look at. Simply plug the numbers in and boom, it spits it out. Lets me know if it's a good deal or not. Hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video.